Obviously, all human behaviour depends on the functioning of the brain. But that, for me, doesn't necessarily explain why there are differences between people in terms of their mental health or in terms of how they behave in particular situations. One of the neurological accounts that is frequently cited in the case of mental health is the functioning of the neurotransmitter serotonin. This transmitter seems to be intimately associated with mechanisms such as reward, motivation, and positive emotions such as happiness.
What we do with a drug is just change the complement of active proteins in a cell that manage neurotransmitters. But we have endogenous ways of doing that as well. So things like cognitive behavioral therapy could do the same. It could get the body to control the levels of serotonin in the brain the same way people would have to take drugs or normally take drugs because it's simpler. And that's how these changes in our brain chemistry in response to life events brings about changes in behavior.
Biological factors, the functioning of a healthy brain must underpin all forms of learning. That's true when we learn to be anxious, and it's true when we learn to be secure. So to take a crude example, if somebody has learned to associate their father with a sense of safety and security and pleasure and relaxation, when their father enters the room, they will have learned to have a particular emotional response. For somebody else, their father entering the room might be a trigger for feeling insecure or unhappy or frightened or in some other way distressed. Both of those individuals have used the same biological, neurological system for learning. They have both made associations using the same biology, but with very different consequences. So for me, biological accounts are fundamentally important, and they're important in determining how we learn and how our emotions work, but they're not so good at explaining why there are differences between people in terms of their mental health.